of breast cancer. Also, today is celebrated in Cameroon and the world over as World Beer Day, with emphasis on beer being a uniting factor across societies and nations. Plus, Limbe taxi drivers congratulate the city mayor Paul Efomengale for his swift intervention to dialogue and secure the release of one of their colleague who was beaten and detained by soldiers of the Limbe naval base over a disputed 200 francs balance. And Iran strike Israel with several ballistic missiles after the State of Israel attacked Palestine, Lebanon, and Syria. These as the United Nations Security Council sat today in the headquarters of New York to discuss on the regional war in the Middle East that is fast becoming of global attention. Those were our major stories. Good evening to you all. This is High Prime of Wednesday, the second day of October 2024. For presentation, I am attending Larry Kevin Tabot. We begin this newscast with the month of October that has been dedicated as Pink Month or World Breast Cancer Month. Women and girls in the Southwest region and the nation Cameroon at large has been called upon to engage in breast cancer detection or screening. This as a way to help them detect early signs and symptoms of breast cancer. As the month of October, popularly known as Pink October, is dedicated to breast cancer awareness. This Alice Lekilengwe Kome tells us more.
It is the Pink Week and the Breast Cancer Awareness Month. This vibrant and positive campaign aims to raise awareness about breast cancer, encourage early detection, and raise funds for breast cancer research and support services.
We can say breast cancer is one of the most recurring cancers in our days among women. And funny enough, it's not age restricted. It can, happen to any woman, female, who is already at the age of menstruation, who's developing hormones already. This can actually develop in them. So we keep hearing instances of people losing breasts and arms because of this disease. So it's actually very, very recurrent, and care must be given to it.
The population is called upon during this annual event to wear pink cloth or accessories to show their support for breast cancer awareness research.
Same outreach program, we're actually carrying out free screening using breast self-examination. We have members of the public actually come, and with the direction of the lab technicians, they examine themselves. And if they find anything funny, like a lump, like some knots, we say, okay, fine, don't panic. It is not yet cancer. It needs confirmatory test. This one is preliminary. So go see a specialist now. We direct you to the specialist who will now carry further diagnostic test on you and determine whether it was breast cancer struggling to develop or is just a lump you're carrying.
In Cameroon, according to the Global Can 2010 estimation, breast cancer is the most frequent cancer in women before cervical cancer, with an incidence of 27.9 per 100,000 women. Lifestyle changes associated with urbanization and the concomitant loss of traditional protective factors appears to be associated with the rising incidence of breast cancer in African women. Women are called upon to watch out for breast lumps or thickening without pain, change in size, shape, or appearance of breast, deepening redness, pitting, or changes in the size, change in nipple appearance or the skin surrounding the nipple, and abnormal or bloody fluid from the nipple. As it is always said, prevention is better than cure.
Advise the young girls, if in case you have a symptom, an abnormal mass in your breast or around your breast, you can go in the hospital for screening. And I also advise the young girls to be doing self-massage frequently in order to identify if there's an abnormal mass or not.
During this period, everyone, both men and women, are expected to spread the news and for each and every woman to go for screening.
On to this human interest story from the Northwest region, where two Fulani armed gangsters who killed an elderly couple in the village of Sop in Vonga Mountain division of the Northwest region last Tuesday, 1st October 2024, has been caught by village vigilante in that village of Sop. The two suspects confessed of being the mastermind of the gruesome killing of the two elderly couple. Let's take a listen to one of the Fulani armed gangsters who confessed to the public over there in Sop village.
Yes. We'll take your money. As I will take that money to 100,000 now. I tell them, I just say, kill him. I just say, no. You no key. You understand? Leave here. As I will take your money, leave here. Leave here alone. No key. Go to your money. Go to your barrel. Go no. That's what you tell you. You need to ask how you don't so.
Usually. Then I will before you a headline for Conabeni side. No, will be there. Talk to the good people to come to you. No one take a go so please.
That one no. Now we say.
Now you begin the headline.
No, now we and Dama now we. We do well. No, know you.
But that other my name now.
That Basomano.
You name now who?
Osmano.
Osmano. Now all of you to go to the
Yeah.
Now we are to go.
Yeah, only we.
Una go the woman gun.
Only one.
One gun.
Yeah.
I'm saying na you una be shoot and the other night people they hear fear say na some kind people them don't enter we don't know.
Yeah, now we.
Now una be shoot eh?
Yeah, now you. Whatever line you find, I don't know.
But no be you be shooting. Nada he talk say name now.
Namano. Osmano.
Usumanu.
Yeah.
Na you shooting.
Yeah, me I did not win no shooting.
I'm saying we correct man. You no find.
Yeah, me I
key man until eating.
So no. Yeah, me I deny you going to.
Because that man be the hell people them plenty.
Yeah, you can do it.
I see no shooting so you no find.
But don't buy Zinja. How much? We have them. How many are there? All the others buy the Zinja for a bet.
Okay.
No,
after Konaben so una come facha.
Yeah.
Or you stay na facha.
No, I don't know me actually na my first day for coming.
Yeah, first day for come.
Nanja, this the can't ask for day. You want Nanja, we the can't ask for day.
Yeah, na my first day for come.
For Njaye no.
Yeah, na my first day for come Anja.
Now who bring you for here?
Now in name now who bring you for here? Call them I bring you for here in name. You know who?
Well, Wanaga don't believe you.
Na Gaga bring you for here.
Yeah, I don't believe you.
Okay.
Gaga na man for side.
When I'm a Vajay,
Man for Njaye.
yeah, when I that.
Tragic one from the town of Boya in the southwest region, where a family and the entire town of Boya are yet to recover from the tragic death of 3 children who consumed noodles popularly known in Cameroon and Nigeria as Indomie. Indomie, the set incident that has prompted a lot of concern on what must have caused the death of these 3 kids is one that has caused a lot of speculation and all sort of projections to ascertain the death of those 3 children. More on that in the following story as investigations has been opened. Sad countenance from the faces of family members, friends, and loved ones who all troop in their numbers at the residence of a young couple in Boya following the untimely death of 3 of their children after consuming noodles popularly known in Cameroon and Nigeria as Indomie.
Yeah, I want to say specifically that my children eat Indomie all the time. I sell Indomie. So like I said, the investigation will tell us the cause of death. It's not in my hands. That somebody may think that maybe I will say something that is not the case. The Indomie, they eat Indomie all the time. Yesterday they ate Indomie. Today they ate. I will say, I don't know whether I should say fortunately or unfortunately, they ate 3 of them and the situation happened. But we will get the final result from the state.
The children started exhibiting signs and symptoms in church as the Sunday's church service was unfolding.
As usual, we were preparing to go to church. I was washing the car while my eldest son was making food for the children. My wife was preparing their dresses and they ate. 3 of them ate. My first son had to go to church early because in their Sunday school he was acting as an usher for today. So the 3 ate. We left for church. We went in church, and before the pastor started preaching, I noticed that my daughter was behaving, I can say I first of all thought naughty because she's always around me. So I knew that she wanted me to carry her and stuff, but I noticed that it was a bit severe. So I asked my wife to take her outside, and she gave me my last child. And while I carried the child, she sent someone to ask me to come fast. The children were not very okay. The daughter was not very okay. So I rushed outside while the baby on me was also behaving, crying anyway. So when I rushed outside, I noticed that the child was not fine. I immediately took my daughter from her, ran to Solidarity.
Rushing the kids to a nearby hospital in Moliko Buea, where health workers swing into action, but unfortunately enough, none of the children could make it, as the efforts of the health workers went in vain.
While she was coming behind with my last son and my second son, who walked to the hospital, reaching there, their state was not good. So they checked, they put them on oxygen. The doctors were checking on them. I rushed to get my wife coming from behind with the other child, and we were there. While they were checking on them, suddenly my son, who walked there with the mom, was also behaving funny. So she called that Daddy, Travis is not behaving all right. So I asked them to check the child as well, and immediately I gave money that they should buy me red oil. While with the doctors there, the news came as a bomb that I had lost my 3 children.
With investigations opened by the Buea Judicial Police Department, the family is in a state of devastation as they await the result of the investigators of the exact cause of the death of 2 boys and a girl of the Mwambos family in Buea. Quite a sad one indeed, and may the souls of the kids rest in peace. We now take you to news from Limbe, where the Limbe City Mayor Paul Efumengale has been congratulated by denizens of the town of Friendship Limbe after he succeeded in breaking a peace deal among taxi drivers in the town of Limbe who were about to go on an indefinite strike action following the beating and detention of one of theirs by a soldier belonging to the naval base in Bota over the non-payment of 200 francs between him and the said taxi driver, as the said driver in question was dressed in civilian attire. This saw the city mayor who went to the Bota naval base headquarters, where the immediate release of that said taxi driver was secured as he footed his medical bills over there at the Limbe Regional Hospital. More in the following story with you, Rita Mafani Muchoko.
Limbe taxi drivers, in unison with one another, agreed to protest against the beatings meted on one of their colleagues who was beaten by soldiers of the Limbe naval base on claims of a 200 francs balance. Though dressed in civilian attire, the said soldier called on fellow soldiers.
Military people, they wholly, they beat us so they go for camp. So it reach for plenty drivers, their ears, so they vex the whole half mile the bill. We get more than 200 to 300 drivers they want strike.
With the timely intervention from the Limbe City Mayor, accompanied by the second deputy who descended to the naval base as the immediate release of the taxi driver was secured. He was taken to the regional hospital for medical attention as all medical expenses were being taken care of by the city mayor.
The city mayor really advised us like a father. He said his doors are open. At any given time, if situations like that come, we should call him. and all of us, we know that we are working in harmony and we need peace in Limbe. So we don't have any strike in Limbe.
The president of Limbe Essential Taxi Driver Syndicate narrates on how the release process went on.
Military people, they see we, and with the president of the city mayor, they just give it the boy, the driver.
Fako SDO Viang Mekala has asked for in-depth investigations to be carried out so as to ascertain more into the incident, as the situation proved effective leadership and conflict management by the municipal magistrate for Limbe.
And we take you to this interview from the governor of the Southwest Region, Bernard Okalia Belai, following the abduction of the DO for Idabato subdivision of Bakassi Peninsula of the Southwest Region, Ewane Roland, who was kidnapped by suspected pirates from neighboring Nigeria on a speedboat in the on the high sea over there at the Atlantic Ocean. Southwest Governor Bernard Okalia Belai narrates on how the circumstances and situation leading to the abduction of the DO for Idabato Roland Ewane when in this following interview selected for us by Alice Leke Liengo.
By 2 o'clock in the night, the DO of Idabato, Mr. Etongo, Mr. Ewane Roland, and one of his collaborators, one Etongo Ismail, working with the Idabato Council, they were kidnapped by gunmen who came in their number, well equipped, and they were shooting. They broke the residence of the DO and arrested him, kidnapped him, and ran away by the sea. Immediately, the forces of law and order deployed their patrols on the sea, but without any chance of success. So till now, the DO has disappeared. He's in the hands of those gunmen. We are still patrolling around the sea in the Bakassi area. We are in contact with the neighboring authorities of Nigeria. We are sensitizing everybody if they can have some information. And we hope that some people of good faith will give us reliable information so that we succeed to lay hand to those who have kidnapped the chief of the administrative unit of Idabato and his close collaborator. But the situation as far as security is concerned, is under control because the men could not face, the gunmen could not face our forces of law. They did it in less than 20 minutes and they ran away, which means that they cannot confront our forces. They targeted the GO and they succeeded. But the rest of the population is going about their activities. It is true that the fact that the GO is kidnapped, being the representative of the symbol of the republic, it's a bit traumatizing and disturbing. But we're inviting the rest of the population and the rest of the forces of law and administrative authority and all the officials elected to remain vigilant. To remain vigilant because, as I always say, information is the first weapon to fight terrorism. Because when we are not reliably informed, we cannot take the appropriate measures. I'm now inviting the rest of the population, the collaborator, to remain vigilant and to give us reliable information. That is the situation as far as this problem of the kidnapping of the GO of Idabato is concerned.
Southwest Governor Bernard Okali-Abilai speaking there on the situation that led to the abduction of the district officer for Idabato in the Bakassi Peninsula of the Southwest region alongside the council staff in that set council of Idabato. We now move on to this other news where the population of Buea and Cameroon at large has been given the opportunity to study at the Legacy University and Theological Seminary Institute that has been existing for the past decades in the United States of America and other countries around the world. This was during the launch of exercise to present the said university institute to the population of the Southwest region. That took place recently. Our staff lady Alice Lekeliengwe Kome tells us more.
With a mission to present a complete church, Legacy University and Theological Ceremony has been launched over the weekend in Buea. Legacy University and Theological Seminary aims at bringing the gospel from both spiritual, social, and entrepreneurial approach, making it different from others.
University and Theological Seminary is a United States-based university, a faith-based university, and we cover a complete study, both of the Word of God and social studies. We have come to realize that most pastors are not well taught. Some pastors know only about the Bible, but we realize that we are pastoring people who have been called by God in different spheres of influence. And so we want to train pastors to have the ability to be able to pastor people from all spheres of influence. So joining Legacy University and Theological Seminary will give you the tools you need to raise people in every sphere of influence, because we teach about business in our school. We don't just teach about ministry, we don't just teach about theology, but we teach about business, we teach about entrepreneurship, we teach about finances, we teach about law in our school, so that pastors are equipped to even know the laws of our nation, the constitution of our nation. So it is important that you become part of this school.
The university gives its students the opportunity to gain broader knowledge on many aspects, especially on what is in the Bible.
The University and Theological Seminary presents this very, very great opportunity for their students to visit Israel and Greece. This is to be able to have broader knowledge and on-ground knowledge on certain things in the Bible which have been taught. This is a great opportunity where the school facilitates by giving a certain degree of aid for students to be able to travel.
It is time for Cameroonians, especially ministers of the gospel, not to only study the Bible, but also gain some practical skills, making them complete.
The advantage of the Legacy University is that it gives opportunity for people to get a holistic aspect of the Bible and society, and also entrepreneurship. You realize that many people in the community are limited, but this will raise the standard of studies.
Looking at the opportunities presented during the launching, many could not hold back but registered themselves immediately.
About the Legacy University right now, I'm happy because really, as a pastor, I need to acquire knowledge so I can teach other people. Because I believe that is Bible study to show us approved. So I believe through Legacy University I will learn so much that can impact my generation.
Registration is ongoing.
The university is operational since 2014, and the headquarters is in Tallahassee, Florida, in the United States of America. So we are present in other African countries like Accra, Ghana. We are also present in Quito, Ecuador, and we are currently bringing Legacy University to Cameroon, precisely in Buea. So for those who want to register, registration is currently ongoing, and during this session we had some persons who have started registering because they've understood the importance of acquiring holistic knowledge.
From every indication, Legacy University and Theological Seminary is a university with a different that would change the impression about the church and the individual positively.
And still in the light of education, we now take you to Seka Baptist College, where the batch of students of 2017 to 2023 batch of students from Seka Baptist College, Limbe, has turned out massively to celebrate and to thank God for molding them and to see them for the past 7 years of success during their stay at the college of Seka Baptist College. This was observed via a Thanksgiving church service that took place on campus of that set institution. Daniel Komimboa went there and now brought back the following reports.
Chanting different songs filled with joy on their faces are now former students of Seka Baptist College Limbe, who has turned out in their numbers this day to thank God and the school for molding them through these 7 years of academic success.
Why we're actually inspired to come for years, because we really appreciated the change we had in the school. Like, this change was so intense. A teacher will never, we're really grateful for everything. And then we also thought that it would be a good thing if we come as the first batch, the first class to come immediately after leaving Seka, because nobody has ever done that. Normally, people have the habit of going to give thanks to God in other churches. So we just thought, why should we not come? Let's come and thank God in the school that made us who we are today.
Taking place this Sunday, September 29, 2024, at the college campus, was a moment for them to express their gratitude, given the fact that the academic journey has not been an easy one.
I'm so happy because this journey was a very long and rocky one. Indeed, it was really rocky. There were times when we felt like we were discouraged. There were times when we felt like nothing was working. There were times when we even felt that we would not even pass. But God, being God and having His way of doing things, He always assured us through our teachers, through devotions that we always have, always told us that we should not worry, He's with us, He's there with us, and He will lead us through this entire journey and give us success, which is good.
I'm very excited, it's very amazing to be here because we're the first batch usually come for our Thanksgiving after the advanced level. So I appreciate the school for what they have done for us, and we want the rest to continue to follow us in our train.
With first of its kind, this success could not have been realized without the sacrifices of their teachers.
All our teachers, we know we have been through thick and tough together. Everything, the temptation, the hard work, the struggle. Sometimes we always grumble and argue with our teachers that they're like this, they're like that. We always keep them to the nerves and everything. But really thank God for them for never giving up on us. They never gave up. They still pushed in and they did all their best to make us successful. In their mind, they're not all about their job. They're about making us successful. What they had in their head was making their students successful people. So I'm really grateful for them.
To the principal of the school, she feels happy despite the challenges faced within these 7 years of their study.
I feel very delighted. I feel very happy on this day, seeing them coming back to say thank you to God, spending 7 years in Seka from 2017 at the heart of the crisis right to 2024. And we have impacted a lot in these girls' morals, that motivational inspirations to do anything they can do in future, and the zeal to pursue their studies. And also with that force of the drive of I can make it. And they have proven to us that they can do it. And our prayer is that as they will forge ahead in their education, they should succeed in life.
On his part, the school pastor attests on the moral and spiritual values they have received, which could enable them overcome some social ills within the society.
Understanding that Seka is a church-run school, we have always done our best to implant in them godly values, so that wherever they find themselves in society, after now, they should be able to represent God appropriately.
One of the parents expressed happiness after seeing his daughter succeed within these 7 years of hard work.
Sense of pride and happiness,
so elated because when you have a daughter who has studied for 7 years in an institution like this, you can imagine how comfortable you feel having acquired some moral standards, spiritual build-up, and of course the educational aspect of it.
Amongst those accompanying the celebration were the newly admitted students, alongside those at the senior level of the academic ladder. Parents and friends all turned out in their numbers to honor these celebrants.
And to our viewers in Cameroon and around the world, you are watching High Prime, and we are coming to you live from our news studios here in High Television. We now take you to the National School of Local Administration, NASLA, based in Buea, where the school, NASLA, has graduated her first batch of municipal police agents. The more than 250 municipal police agents who came from the different councils in the country were drilled on the necessity to uphold professionalism all across their various councils. This call was re-echoed by the Director General of NASLA, Tanyi Tikubaye Eno Achuo, who encouraged them to continue to uphold the virtues that have been injected in them for the past months as trainees over there in NASLA, despite the heavy downpours of rain on that day. More on that in the following story. The first intake of trainees as municipal police agent at the National School of Local Administration, NASLA, has ended with the hundreds of municipal police agents drawn from some selected councils in Cameroon.
In Buea itself, and the conditions under which this ceremony has taken place, and their attitude during the ceremony tells you how ready they are. You have seen the ceremony carried out in the rain without any form of hesitation on their part. I think that it is a testimony to the quality of the training and the content of the training that we have given them over the past 3 months.
Even though the heavy downpour of rain at NASLA's campus couldn't retard the enthusiastic municipal police agents as they expressed their desire to make their positive presence felt all across the different councils in Cameroon.
The training was a very good one, and from enough, what they have changed us. We are now a different person, not the municipal police of yesterday. Let me go forward that. Thanking the head of state and the minister of decentralization who implemented the decree as we did here. It was a very good exercise, a very good training. And I think we, in particular, as first batch, call it promotion, we are very happy.
The Director General of NASLA on his part reminded them to be exemplary in all that they do.
We expect them to be aware of their responsibility. The reputation of municipal police depends for a certain part on them. We are trying to engage in a movement to salvage the reputation.
As the National School of Local Administration is out to promote the decentralization process and upgrade municipal policing all across Cameroon. Congratulations goes to all the municipal police agents who just graduated from NASLA. We now move on to church news. Aside from the church being an arena of Christianity, it is equally an area for socialism as culture and ethnicity meet all across all sectors in the church. In this capacity, the Bishop of Buea, His Grace Michael Bibi, has crafted a special teaching to all Catholic faithful in the diocese of Buea. Adelina Yenfo Akomene has more.
In an era increasingly characterized by rapid change and shifting social norms, fundamental pillars of society like the holy matrimony, which plays a crucial role in shaping social patterns, need adequate attention. In this light, the Bishop of the Buea Diocese, His Grace Michael Bibi, organizes every week a special catechism dubbed Know Your Faith for the Catholic faithfuls. This week at St. Anthony of Padua Parish, Boyatown, some Catholic faithfuls and priests converge to listen to soul-searching teachings on the sacrament of marriage. The doctrinal class focused on salient aspects, including the role of the proper priest in endorsing marriages, the authority of the bishop in peculiar cases such as a Christian without a permanent parish, among others. The spiritual exercise pointed to issues like saint polygamy as a hindrance to having a marriage blessed in the church, acting as a caution to uphold the Catholic faith of one man, one woman. The session, characterized by praises, offered the over 100 faithfuls present practical wisdom to navigate some complexities of marriage, such as the adoption of children in cases of childlessness, faith in God, respect for authorities, and much more, in a bid to uphold their faith in the Catholic doctrine.
And moving forward to one of our lead stories, as earlier mentioned, Cameroon today joined the rest of the world to commemorate the International Day for Beer, with beer as the international community sees it as a substance that has the capacity of bringing people together across different races and ethnicity. The day was set aside to encourage living together all across the globe. Aisha Mbeng tells us more.
Every year, the 2nd of October is being celebrated worldwide as International Beer Day. Originally started in the United States in Santa Cruz, California, with purpose of celebrating the craft of brewing, showing appreciation for those involved in the making of beer, and later on quickly expanded to include celebrations of bartenders and other beer technicians as well. In line with this year's theme, Unite the World Through Beer Transcending Borders and Culture, with a country like Cameroon, where consumption of beer is at its peak, one can say this day comes as a remarkable one for the citizens whom most at times find solace in consuming this amazing beverage. According to the founders of the Beer Day, they had 3 reasons that they declare for starting the day, which are to gather with friends and enjoy the taste of beer, to celebrate those responsible for brewing and serving beer, to unite the banner of beer by celebrating the beers of all nations together on a single day. In a nutshell, diverse and new experiences are the hallmark of Beer Day, implying that everyone is encouraged to share various techniques on how to make beer, along with how to enjoy it, including varieties of foods and activities that goes along with it, in order to celebrate this enjoyable day of brewing skill and beverage enjoyment. As the day is for beer lovers everywhere all over the world, to raise a toast to our brewers, bartenders, and rejoice in the greatness of beer.
And happy Beer Day to all Cameroonians who actually love beer, and to those of you abroad. We move on to our foreign dossier for tonight, latest in a series of escalating tension in the Middle East after Israel launched attack on Palestine, Lebanon, and Syria. Iran, on her part, has retaliated with the launching of several ballistic missiles to Israel in the latest happening in the world in this regional conflict in the Middle East. The United Nations Security Council sat today at the headquarters in New York to discuss on the rising tension across the Middle East, as it is envisaged by many pundits as the world is on the brink of another global war. More on that with you, Aisha Mbeng, once again.
The Middle East is on edge as Iran has launched at least 180 missiles into Israel. This comes after Iran's Armed Force Chief of Staff on Tuesday said his country was prepared to repeat its attack if Israel is not contained by the US and Europe. Notably, Iran's attack is the latest in a series of escalating attacks in a years-long conflict between Israel and Iran and its Arab allies.
We stand with Israel, and we recognize her right to self-defense in the face of this aggression. Iran must stop these attacks, together with its proxies like Hezbollah. Iran has menaced the Middle East for far too long. Chaos and destruction brought not just to Israel, but to the people they live amongst in Lebanon and beyond. Make no mistake, Britain stands full square against such violence. We support Israel's reasonable demand for the security of its people.
Blows against Hezbollah in Lebanon were very substantial. This was not just a decapitation, including its leader for decades, Hassan Nasrallah. It was a decimation of the senior leadership and of their command, control, and communications means. And then, of course, followed up with attacks on over 1,500 sites, extending well beyond southern Lebanon into the Bekaa and also into Syria. I think Iran felt that it had to respond. The hardliners clearly prevailed over those, including the new president, who perhaps might have cautioned a bit of restraint. And now I think that Israel is going to have to respond in kind. This time will not be a single missile into an airbase in Isfahan that, by the way, penetrated the Russian-provided air defenses there. This time, I think it will be against substantial military sites in Iran to show what they can do after showing that the Iranian attack was really quite ineffectual.
It is worth noting that in Lebanon, explosions were heard, fire and smoke visible along the Beirut skyline on Wednesday morning in what the Israeli military claimed was a strike on Hezbollah targets.
And with that news report on the Israeli-Arab war that is unfolding in the Middle East, this is what concludes tonight's news package of High Prime for Wednesday, the 2nd day of October 2024. Thanks for watching, and take the same appointment tomorrow, same time, same television channel. Good night.